Welcome to the channel. I'm going to lean a little because my camera's not straight. No, that's all right. I'm Joe. Of course, I'm K1LBG also, of course. Starting on the next project. Just finished a marathon session with my driveway or sidewalk sweeper. Now I'm on to the next winter piece of winter equipment. This one really should be a shorter episode or shorter video because my list is much shorter on this, although I only had one thing on my list last time. But this device has been used a lot more recently and had more work done to it. So we're going to get right into it, and I'll show that to you in a second. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you find this enjoyable. And there it is. It's a 4-foot wide snowblower on a Toro Groundsmaster 73. It's from probably the 70s. Got a little gasoline engine in it. I've done a lot of work to the front end on this, trying to make it throw snow better, and it really does a much better job than the original now. I reshaped the way that the snow is captured and put into the center auger, and tightened up a few things, made a new chute for it so it doesn't get caught as much in the chute when it throws it. But I do have some issues with this one. And we'll start with the chute rotation and the heater motor. I'll yell to you from over there. This chain, which rotates the chute from this motor, gets plugged with snow and heavy wet, almost icy snow, and because of that it tightens up the chain so much it won't turn the motor won't turn. So I've got to either protect that chain better or do something with it, and I'm not sure what yet. Probably put a better shield over the whole unit. We'll see what happens. And inside the cab, because it's brown and it's dark inside the cab, you probably can't see it. But right in here is a box heater. And it had a small box heater, just wasn't putting out the air. So this is out of an actual automotive, and I had to shoehorn it in there. It's tough to work on. Put it in for the last time I used it. Worked for a couple of hours, then the fan motor quit. So I have to take it apart again and figure out what to do with that. I have fixed steering. The most I can do is look at the linkage and see if it's tight or not. I don't know why I have fixed steering. So I'll have to look at that. Check hydraulic pressure. That goes with the next one, which is change the lift cylinder. When this thing gets too much heavy wet snow, it doesn't want to lift. So either my pressure is low, which I have to see if I can find the document on what it should be, or I need to go to a bigger diameter piston, which I don't know if I can fit in there. But we'll see. And then the last thing on my list, but not the last item, is to fix the wiper motor and the stop. You can see, maybe not, I'll point it out when I get over there. But the wiper motor, well, we'll take a walk over. We'll get up close here. You can see it now. So right here, this is actually just a piece of tin bent in an angle to keep the wiper from going too far, because once it gets past here, it won't go back. And that's because this motor travels more than the 90 degrees it's supposed to. So I've got to pull the motor apart, see if it's too loose, see if there's an adjustment. I'll figure that one out eventually. The two items that are not on the list is I put insulation all the way around this door after I got it nice and snug. And when I opened it up just now, I actually lost some of the insulation. It stuck. So what I think I'm going to do, I can either wax this, or I've got some silicone grease or oil, which is the same that's on my chain right now, and put that on. And see if that will fix the problem. Finally, it's not changed the plugs, not changed the ignition stuff at all. It always starts up fine. The carburetor runs good. What I do have to work on is checking the oil, an oil filter, an air filter, and fuel filter. I don't know how many of those I'm going to change, because you know, in the past winters, I'm lucky I put 10 hours a year on this thing. So for a 50-hour change, that's 5 years. So I'm going to look at the oil. I'm going to look how bad the air cleaner and fuel filter look. And we'll go from there. So that's the next project. It's headed downstairs. Alright guys, another day. I thought I would tackle the weather stripping on the door the other day. That was off camera. I thought it was really easy. I cleaned off the goop on the side, along the side here, all the way around where the weather stripping hits that edge on the side. And then put some of my silicone grease on that. Well, that didn't fix it. It made it a little worse. So I cleaned off all the silicone grease. And I said, well, maybe I can cover up the adhesive or the stickiness on the weather stripping, which is on the door, the outside edge of the door. So I went and sprayed paint on all that. That made it worse, so I had to use a knife to get into the door today. So I haven't been too successful with that. So we're not going to do that today. We're going to tackle the removal of the windshield wiper motor, and I'm hoping I can show you what it does and why I have to fix it. So watch this. Remove my end of travel marker. Huh. Well, after I wrote that note, maybe I adjusted it. It's coming nowhere near that edge. But that's the amount of slop it has in it. That's the amount of slop, so I think I'm going to remove it and try to see what's going on inside that, tighten it up a little. Let's see if I can find a socket for the inside. Well, what's between 10:30 seconds and 11:30 seconds? Alright, I'm going to pause this until I actually find something I can unscrew. 10 millimeter. That might have to get changed. WWF 12C1-510, 12 volt. Type WWF, 12 volt, made in USA. And I'm going to take the washer off the back. I'll leave the nut in place. So now we'll go inside and dissect this. Okay, let's dissect this and see why it's so sloppy. As I said, it looks really new, but I wouldn't expect something like this to be that sloppy if it were brand new. Well, I've been in here before. This looks like a piece of PVC, maybe Teflon. More importantly, it's got anti-seize, never seize on it. So something's going on here. Oh, this isn't looking good. Shoot. Well, it looks like I made the piece inside too, or somebody did. But it looks like my handiwork. This piece is made out of aluminum, and it goes to the motor, which changes it into reciprocating motion, and it is pretty wobbly. So let's see. Ugh. Well, I can't get it out of one end. Well, the bushing in here is shot too. Definitely not a new unit. And it looks like the end with the clip on it has gotten crushed or something because, oh, there we go. Well, I guess this is another one where I said good enough. It clearly isn't. Wow, this guy is horrible. Alright, so the good news is that this shaft fits really good into that bushing. The bad news is, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but this guy is really, really loose. And the only way I see of getting to that what's interesting is apparently they press this pin into the different holes. That's 120 degrees, 85 degrees, 65 degrees, 110, and I don't know what these two are over here. One looks like it's 100. I'm expecting one to be 90. So, what to do? Wow. Wow, that's the question. If I drill those two out, I can get this piece off. And I have a little wiggle room to put a bolt in there. But I think I might have to thread these because I can't put a nut on the top. Because if I put a nut on the top, when this thing spins around, the arm is going to whack them. Alright. Let me go drill those out. Those two rivets want to spin. I've got no way of holding them from the back side. So I'm going to try to grind the rivet out. Okay, I believe I got the rivets all excuse me, ground down, so I should be able to just punch those out with a hammer. Back in a minute. Alright, some more tools. The hammer and punch. A pair of side cutters to get it out. An absolutely oversized hole. And there is in fact one hole that's a blind hole. Lines up with a pin on the back, 2 pins. Well, maybe they don't line up. I thought I had them lined up. Oh, there we go. So those 2 pins fit that hole, and one in fact is elongated a little. So there it is. But this guy is just crispallated. So the question becomes, so I suppose I could just go buy one of these motors. Probably only $50 or $60. I'm going to spend 3 hours on it. Not worth my time. But I enjoy it. So, or at least I enjoy it for now. Wow, I don't know if I can... It's built up a ridge, so I can't pull the pin out. It almost looks like there's supposed to be a clip on the back side, which would tighten that up a lot, but it's still pretty beat up. Now my question is, what did that... So somebody has to turn. All right, we're out. And that says 100 on it. All right, so one of them says 65 and 85. And one says 120, 110, and 100. There are no others. The extra holes, two that I thought were holes are plugged up. The third one is too small. Ha! So now, I guess I have to turn a pin. Oh, that's going to be fun. So I guess I should put a drill through that and see if in fact it's still round. And then I'll turn the pin on the lathe. Boy, this may be a video all unto itself. I guess I'll film the making of the pin. Whether or not I include it is a different story. Wow, this is going to be fun. All right. Okay, so I checked. Excuse me. So I checked the 110 hole, which is where we were, and with a drill bit, and then I put the same drill bit in the 100, the 85, and the 120, and it felt about the same. So I don't believe this guy has gotten worn out. I'm guessing the pin is softer than this. Not only that, I think the pin is what turns. Well, yeah, it turns in here, but I don't think I'm going to worry about the plate. I think I'm going to just make a pin. Well, I believe this is mild steel of some sort. So we'll start with this and see how well it cuts. Got to bring it up a little. It's a little below center. I have a carbide tip in there. I generally use them. Doesn't beat up too much. I'm going to say that this shoulder is probably about the right size. Well, except where it's not. Holy mackerel. Boy, did that get beat up. If I make it 4/100ths of an inch, no, I think I need to make it 1/2 inch. Don't have a lot to take off. Whoa. Well, I had a piece of shim here. This is not terribly concentric. But as long as I get down to about a 1/2 inch, I'm happy. I think my goal is to turn out something 1/2 inch that's this long and then start whittling, but leave it on the main stock so I don't have a really tiny part to deal with. The question becomes, which end do I work on first? I think I should work on the end that doesn't have two different shoulders. I think this is all supposed to be one size, with a little space for a C-clip, which wasn't in there. And if I do that, I think I can cut the threads off the end, turn them down to the right size. So how long does this have to be? Well, I've got to get into there, huh? All right. $195. See how that works in the 110. Ooh, too tight. Okay, well, we keep going. That's fine. Take just a little at a time, a couple thousandths. This is where a good DRO would be nice to have. Getting the part where the threads were out of the way. It's only a couple thousandths over. What happened there? What'd I do? What'd I whack? Tool is still too low. That's pretty good. Well, recalibrate. Oh. It can't be much more. That can't be right. Oh, maybe it was just too hot. Well, that fits pretty good. All right, now we've got to make the shoulder. Got to make the shoulder yeah. So I have to get in. I don't want to take it out. Where did the pin go that I had? So I turned this piece, but it's not flat here. It's kind of at an angle, so I had to change my tool so I can make that a nice right angle in there so it fits flat. All right, that should be a nice sharp corner for that 110. Oop. Gotta come down to here. Still not flat. No. No, no, no. The heck is going on in here? Take out the carbide. Too low. That's about right. I don't know if that's much better than the original. Oh yeah, much better. But in making that I'm trying to get that inside corner flat and nice and snug. It's the problem with using a 75-year-old lathe. Oh, there we go. Alright, I think I can live with that. Now to figure out if there's supposed to be a clip on the back side of that. Sure seems like there's supposed to. Let me go get the other pieces. There is space for a clip. Not much, but there is space. And I brought an assortment of clips. Well, I guess I brought two. And I think this one is the best one for the job. Never did one of these retaining clip grooves in the past. That's gonna be fun. I guess I'm gonna have to make a make a groove, make a tool to make the groove. See if I can find one that I don't need to make too many changes to. Well, let's see how this goes. I don't know how much of a groove to give it. Just get a pair of pliers and try it. I think just a hair more. Oh yeah, that feels good. All right. The question is, I guess, will it feel good when I put it on? Huh. Apparently not. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna make it just a little wider. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah. Now, can I get it off without losing it? Close enough. Clean that up with a file sometime. So now I'm going to do the back side. What am I going to use for that? Hate to say it, but probably a cutoff tool. Use a cutoff tool to get the square shoulder on the back. Yeah. This, in fact, does look oblong. 250. No, not bad though. 252. 254, 252. Quarter of an inch. Wow, I got a ways to go. Ha ha ha. What we call back gears. It's really slow. It's going to take longer, but it should get rid of most of the chatter. Okay, I gotta go look. This guy is broken off at the end, so I don't know if he was supposed to have a clip on him or not. So I'm gonna go check. There's a little plastic roller cap. So indeed, I have to make this end up a lot better than what I was planning. Never used a cutoff tool before to do this kind of work. But boy, that's going to be just right. Well, let's hope that's right. A little long. about there. Well, the time has come. Got to get rid of the burr from the saw. Huh. I almost hate to put it back in here, because it's not concentric anymore. It's gonna be out of round. That's not too bad. Still a little long, I think. Oh, I think it's because I got a shoulder on it. All right, I think that's going to be good enough. Part one. Well, I had to do a little finagling. I got the clip on there. Had to use a drill to countersink this a little to get this to lie flat. Something's still not flat about it, but it's close enough. So I think I now need to figure out what tap this should be. A 10 or a 1/4 inch. Figure out what 2 holes they were. Those 2 holes, the 2 small ones. Okay. All right, I'll be back. Okay. We have a little bit of a complication here. This piece of steel, the reason those holes didn't get rounded out is because it's hardened. There is no way I'm getting a tap into it. So I think I'm going to have to use pop rivets, which is not a terrible thing. Wasn't my first choice, but we'll see how that goes. And that needs a little, just a hair more chewing out in there. Well, the worst case scenario is I have to buy a new one of these. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Where are we? Well, I've had to make a couple of mods to this thing. I don't have quite the right pop rivets. I wanted the steel ones. I only have some aluminum ones, and they're just a hair short. But I countersunk them on the back a little bit, so I think they'll fit now. Well, they'll fit once I take a file. I'm partially covering this hole, so I do have to file it. The piece I just made in the lathe. Yeah, and what I'm thinking of doing is when I put this thing together, it's going to be a one-shot deal, because I'm going to load this up with instant glue and then pop rivet it. I have this Max 1 glue. I think it's a German glue. I picked it up at a, I'll call it a state fair. The Big E, which is the Eastern States Exposition, which is a fair, carnival show for the New England states. And I guarantee you we'll never have to worry about this falling apart. If I could only get that in there so I could beat on it. Getting there. Well, in spite of all that, I think it's actually in good shape. It's a little proud, but this cover's a little proud, so that's a good thing, I believe. So I guess that worked out. I think the threads are a little bunged up on the spot where they go through the cap, but they're all right. Oh, okay. This one is going to be an easy one because it's not the shaft in the bushing. The bushing itself wasn't tight. It seemed loose when I took it off, and it was. So all we needed to do was to tighten that up. I just dropped everything on the floor. And the gasket is broken. Oops. What happened to the thrust washer? That's on the floor too. Clean the grime off it. Now, my only problem is my gasket's broken. It's been broken for a while. It's went in this way. So I suppose, since it's vertical, if I put the break in the gasket at the top, whatever I use for grease or oil won't come out. And I should put something in here. Well, this is as good as any, I guess. This is stopcock lubricant. Why not? Well, that was a mistake. Probably shouldn't have done that until I finished fixing this thing. That's all right. We'll get that in there. Well, let's see if that's a standard size hole. Alright, a 1/4 inch drill fits pretty loosely in it. And I thought I made this 250 thousandths. Wow. Oh, there goes that thrust washer again. Ugh. Well, the hole is definitely oblong. So we'll just give it just a few thousandths in the short direction. perfect. Let's try this again. Clean the thrust washer. A little grease on it. Put it back on. Huh. Well, this guy never sees all over it, so that's going to be fun. For the life of me, I don't know where I put those washers, unless it was to tighten up this pin, but that doesn't seem necessary now, because this thing is all nice and snug, except I can't get it down to put the C-clip in. Well, let's bring in a 12-volt battery, see how it works. Alright, red positive. Well, that sure seems tighter. Like, a lot. Let's just see if this whole cover thing goes on. Well, one more test I'll put together. Let's see if it grinds to a halt now that I've screwed the cover on. No, that's just fine. I guess it's time to put it back in. Alright, let's see how it goes. Alright, so this had a double nut on the inside. That had come loose. since I can't get the 10mm nut out, I'm going to use it again. The problem with this wiper motor is it doesn't have a park position, so you have to flavor it a little until you get it just right. Ugh. Come on. Oh. I'd like to get it one click that way. All right, success. Nice and snug. I don't think it's going to go over that far. Call that a success. So I can pull on it and it doesn't go all the way over, so that's good. Supposed to have a stop on it, but it doesn't. I'll have to watch that in the winter. Alright, well, I think this will be first in a series. It took all afternoon just to do the wiper motor. It's probably going to take all afternoon to do my heater core, because that's next. Alright, well, hey, thanks for watching. I hope you found it entertaining. I guess I could have bought a new wiper, new blade, new motor, and just do it. But it's more fun this way. So, on to the next steps. Check the battery, check the oil, check the water, see what filters I need, do the heater fan. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, dislike, comment. As long as you don't consider it a waste of your time, you're all set. So thanks again, and tune in for part 2 of many.